Colony Podcast, episode 7. Today's episode is about the Try for Recovery charity, and
so we've had Derry on the podcast before, so great cause, as Ant just said then, the Try for Recovery. The lads are doing something absolutely fantastic. So over to you, Derry. Do you want to introduce the lads, introduce yourself again for us?
Yeah, I'm Derry. People who've seen the last podcast, I should say. I said that would be my first and last one, but this is for a special cause, for special people, and for what needs to be reached out there to people. Part of the team we've got with us, Big Fergo, Big Steve, Tutty, the granddad of the pack, and Mr. Riley, who is the dark horse for the race, if you ask me. He's done so many runs already, so many other sporting activities, so we're a good team, and we're here to reach out to people, to let people know what we're doing, and it's all in good stead. Training's going well so far. I know the lads are putting the work in. I haven't started yet, but I will be. I'm struggling with a few injuries, but I just keep telling the lads I'll be winning. Don't worry about that. But I'll pass it over now to Steve, Tutty, and Tom.
Yeah, so I'm on the team. My name's Stephen. I come on the team because I went through Tom Harrison House. I graduated about 20th of last month. No, 2 months I've been out now. So I went through there struggling with addiction, you know what I mean? I served with the army, boxed as a kid, but addiction has ruined my life, you know what I mean? Yeah, really bad it was. I mean, I was smoking weed and that from a young age, a 14-year-old lad. But I was very, very into me boxing as a kid, you know what I mean? I had national titles, I boxed.
I'm going to interfere here. When he said he was good at boxing, he was very good. Very, very, very good. And he knows how good he was. And people who have asked, Stephen's a lot younger than me, who have asked about him, they've said he was top draw. He knows how good he was. Boxed for England, won national title, so fingers crossed. We're going to be back, lad.
So obviously that was where I went off track, do you know what I mean? I was a dedicated kid. I used to get up before school, go on and run at like 5 in the morning. It was me thing, and then I just went on the wrong track around the wrong people. Started wanting to be a gangster, do you know what I mean? But really, in my case, swallowing my ego, my pride. Now I was getting groomed. I was getting groomed by older people, so older kids flashing the dough at me and all that. And it was like a good thing to be this lunatic by ours, do you know what I mean? So I just started doing all crazy madness. I was getting involved in no good, and I was involved in that for a bit, but then I also had something good inside me, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I reached out and I joined the army at the age of 16. Never got in the first time because I had to go through another stage. So I went in at 17, joined at 16, and then got in at 17 years of age. I served 6 years. Served 6 years with the Duke of Lancaster Regiment. Been all over the country, all over the world. Been up and down, but even in the army, addiction was already a thing, because they say it's like a certain amount of people who have my personality or an addict, do you know what I mean? I mean, the minute I picked that spliff up as a 14-year-old boy, straight away the next day I wanted it again. The day after that I wanted it again. I didn't care about anything else, do you know what I mean? But getting the next spliff in me. So everything else, my dreams, everything as a child just got thrown out the window. And I just chasing the drugs from a 14-year-old. And that just followed me through, all the way through. Destroyed my life, you know what I mean? It robbed me in my army career. I could have done very well there, but in the army it's like sort of glorified to have a bevy. But everyone else can go home. I couldn't, you know what I mean? I'd be out for 3-4 days at a time. And I was like an hand grenade ready to go off at any time. And then as soon as I ended up getting launched out the army, because I went to the glass house for an assault on this lad. I was drunk again. All my problems through life's been through drinking drugs. It's never just been off my own back. It's always been, and that's not blaming anything. That's just, it was a big influence in me stuff. And I ended up going to the glass house, the military jail, coming out of there, getting arrested, drug driving, stoned in again. Got arrested in the car. Army found out, got discharged. As soon as got discharged, I didn't know what to do. I'd lost me my safety blanket, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My routine, my structure. That's what the army was for me. It was just my structure. And from there, I just started to get into little jobs, little bits and bobs, but all the time taking drugs, you know what I mean? Opious amounts of cocaine of a weekend, just round the bend all the time. And then I started thinking I was a gangster then, do you know what I mean? Thinking, doing this, doing that. It weren't meant to be me, do you know what I mean? I was always full of fear, always scared, always paranoid, thinking what's going to happen? Am I going to get nicked? Someone going to come through my door? It weren't meant to be me. And then I ended up getting sections because I ended up struggling. I ended up getting drug psychosis. So what I'd do, I'd have a line of Charlie and I'd barricade myself into rooms. I'd boil pans. I'd put fairy up liquid at the side of the door, make booby traps around the house, take tellies apart, take phones apart, think there was listening devices in the house. Just absolutely insanity. And then I'd get up in the morning and go, right, I'm not doing that again. Funny enough, 3 days down the line, I'm doing it again, going through all that pain and misery. And in the end, I ended up getting got sectioned, went to a place up on Upper Parliament Street, was there for a while. All they done was throw me with medication, antipsychotics, antidepressants, just got me on them and then legged me. Come out, stay back on it again, using again, but going worse and worse each time. And then ended up doing all madness, ended up getting arrested and going to jail. I've still got a few charges on me now for possession with intent to supply Class A. But I went to jail, come out of jail, I'm right back at it again, just right in the madness. But this time I've got children, lost my children, lost everyone, pushed everyone away. Do you know what I mean? No one really didn't want to know me because I was a lunatic. But I used to be made up with that label. Oh, I'm a lunatic, this, that, the other. But the minute I asked for help and come to Tom Harrison House is the best thing I ever done. Because it's my life in there. Like, I'm 142 days clean today. Brilliant. And the spin around in it is unbelievable, do you know what I mean? I've got all my children back in my life. I've got positive connections, like with the lads here, Derry, in the gym. And the gyms, I'm ignited again with the boxing. Because when I sit back and I think like, I haven't boxed for 11 years. And I'm in the gym and it doesn't feel like I've really lost it. Do you know what I mean? It's all still there. And I sit there in bed and I think, where would you have been if you never left that? Yeah. And it does, but I can't keep dwelling on the past. Because obviously it weren't meant to be then. But this time it's going to be. Because I'm going to make it me thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not just about lacing the gloves for me. It's about doing something with it. And going somewhere. So, yeah, that's my little thing.
Tell us about how you found out about Tom Harrison House and the first time you went there, what was going through your head?
Well, I was in Old Swan in a supported accommodation and I just had a bad episode, Charlied up again, but I'd absolutely ruined the house I was in. Took skating boards off because I thought he was motion detectors. It's funny, do you know what I mean? But that's how mad, I honestly believed in this stuff. Yeah. I thought when I was walking down the stairs that a motion detector was letting someone know outside that I was coming down the stairs and someone was going to blow me away at the door. So I'd be stuck on the stairs like that for hours. What do you mean? Like a meerkat. But yeah, I'd be petrified of my own shadow. And then this one time I thought, I got up in the morning and said, I'm not doing this again. Funny enough, I'd done it again 2 days later. But I had a big bag of the shite, whatever, you know what I mean? And I remember looking at myself in the mirror and something overcome on top of me and thought, nah, you're not doing this no more. So I just thrown it down the toilet, flushed it, got on the phone, and I phoned, I was working with the Poppy Factory. It's like a service what works with veterans. And her name's Kaz, she's a lovely woman. I mean, everyone else would give up on me sort of type thing, but she'd always stay on my case, phone me when I didn't even, but I had like this connection and bond with her. She jumped on the blower, fired into me. She wouldn't stay, she'd go, are you alright there? And I'd think, she got a camera in, you know what I mean? She on me, because you could tell by my voice, I was like that. And then I just want, that's when I just said to her, I said, Kaz, I need help. And she went, give me 2 minutes. Phoned me back, said, someone's going to phone you in a minute. It was Ian McCarthy, the one who runs the Thrive Recovery, who sets all this up. And he phones me and goes, you ready for this, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, I am. But the minute that I asked for help, because I've been in denial for years and years and years. I mean, I had loads of warning signs, stop signs, when I should have stopped, but I didn't. Because obviously I was an addict. And I just didn't know where to go or turn. But as soon as I asked for help, it was the best thing I ever done. I'm lucky enough that Tom Harrison House was there. It's an intense treatment centre. But I phoned Ian McCarthy, phones me. And funny enough, I was on a road in Old Swan here. And I'm on the phone to Ian. I'm speaking to Ian. And I hear a police car go past me. But then I hear it down the phone.
He's thinking of watching him.
No.
He's phone the busy zone.
No, but I said to Ian, do you live in Old Swan, lad? And he went, yeah. I said, I've just heard that police car. He went, and he didn't really, he was reluctant to tell me where he was, do you know what I mean? In case I was a fucking lunatic. But he said, yeah, and then a week later, he just said to me, he said, right, I told him, I said, I'm going to definitely have weed in my system, THC. But he said, we can't have no cocaine in your system, we can't have no booze in your system. Until you need to pass this test before you get in here. So I told him about the weed, they understood that the weed's going to be in my system for a while. And I was smoking it like a punter. And then I'm like, they give me a week, and for that week, I stayed in this shithole of an house, you know what I mean? Just barricaded myself in the room, and I didn't move because I wanted help, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my head was telling me, go and get a couple of bevies and a little thing and that, but it weren't happening. I'd already surrendered, do you know what I mean? I'd surrendered because I wanted help.
Yeah.
And it was hard, because I didn't have the tools what I've got now. But I was willing, and that's where it's got me today, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then from then I just got picked up and I was in the treatment centre. The treatment centre's unbelievable. I mean, I know I've got plenty of mates now who are either saving or have saved, and they're all struggling. I mean, addiction is a massive thing. It's destroying not only our city, but it's destroying the full country. It's like glorified now. Like, I was thinking on the way up here, I'm scared. My daughter's only 2, but I'm scared to send her to university when she's older, because that's all the kids do there now. They get the dough, they're getting on it, they're getting this, and it's glorified to take drugs. And they don't understand where it's going to take them, and where it's going to lead them. It's going to absolutely destroy them. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I'm trying to give a little bit back, do you know what I mean? Going on to schools, doing speeches and that. Just trying to wake people up, because I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. Anyone going through what I've just gone through there.
Yeah. No, I think it's a brilliant thing what you're doing. You know, you've learned from your own experience, you're trying to give back. Even if you reach out to one person, you know what I mean? It's a great thing what you're doing, and massive respect to you. And thanks a lot for coming on and just letting us know a bit about yourself, Steve, a bit about your story. Really appreciate it.
I'm going to put in here as well again. the first time I met Steve, Ian brought him down because during lockdown I teamed up with THH and Bridge to make sure, get them fit and healthy in the gym. They've got a great relationship with them now, with Ian and Paul and everyone, all the staff there, everyone in there. I've met friends for life, the top people. And when I first met the big fella, Ian brought him down, and he was. I'll be honest, he was double that size. He's big now. He's a unit. He was twice that. And he's walked in, and you just thought, "What's this fella here?" So everyone in there, like, shy and quiet, and obviously they're going through hard times. And Ian, I don't think Ian gets the credit he deserves. He's the shy one. He's the one that stands back, but he's doing a great job, a very, very good job. And he brought him in. They're on the punch bags, and I thought, this fella's not bad here. Whack this fella. And we've got a wall pad in the gym on the back wall, and they were lined up. He missed Ian by about 5 centimetres, right? If he'd have hit Ian, he'd have put Ian in the car park. And that's the first time I had ever seen him. And I said to Ian, if he'd have hit you then, he went by with Ian, he was so close. And I said to Ian, this fella's going to be hard work. this fella's going to be, I don't know, when you just know someone's going to be hard work. And the opposite. He's been the easiest, the best lad you could ever meet for me. I feel like I've met a friend for life, and it's like, and he's only young. He's only young, and it's great to what he's done, turns his life now. Most of all, got his kids back in his life, and it's supposed to be a part of the team. And he's the late comer to the team. He's been added onto the squad for the great stuff he's been doing and looking after himself. And so he deserves a lot of credit, I think, with all the other people, and even the lads who aren't here today, like Lee, Luke and them, Brian Rimmer, they're all top lads, and they hopefully you can do a part 2 and have them on. They're a bit uglier than us.
Got the handsome ones.
I just do a voice one with them, but it'd be good to have them as well for a part 2, because get their stories.
Couldn't you just tell us about, like, so someone's watching this, right, in the army struggling, and you told old Tom Allison how someone has done for you, but what does it involve? Like, just a little bit about, like, you know, what you have to do, what does it look like?
Yeah, well,
so what was it like when you first went in and then go into the programme a little bit?
Well, so when I walked in there, it was like, it's, you go in there and it's like, it's different type of thing, do you know what I mean? Because I've just come from the madness to that, and you're actually walking into somewhere where people genuinely care, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can just see it in people's eyes, do you know what I mean? You can see that people are hugging each other, people are laughing and joking, and it's like, wow.
Did you want to pass them when he hugged you?
Nah, I needed a hug, do you know what I mean?
Did you freeze off your face?
It can be difficult that sometimes.
You needed loving, didn't you?
No, absolutely.
Could they get their arms down?
Was you scared or nervous going in?
No, because I'd absolutely burnt everything. It was like, because I was that close from taking my own life, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every night I'd get up and
So would you say it was like a relief?
It was relief, yeah.
Yeah.
To think actually there's, and then what it is, it's a funny process. So you like, when I first went in there, I'll be honest, I went in there and like, because there weren't no scousers in there when I walked in, and I'm looking in because I was judgmental, and I'm walking in going, no one's got 110s on here, and I'm fucking getting out of here.
And if you look at him, he's as scouse as they come. He's got a cat wheel. He's just a proper scouse. It's only missing a man bag.
But then my mate here, Ian Buxton, he's living in Support. He walked in, big baldy scouse lad, you know what I mean? He's like, what's happening and all that, and I was listening to him and I thought, I'll start speaking to him, and he's been 13 years clean. And then it's just like people like him, and then Glenn, Ian McCarthy, there's loads of them in there, and the inspirations, do you know what I mean? Cause
Chef, you serve it.
Yeah, Stapey.
Yeah, Stapey.
Stapey, my mate from my regiment come in. It was like, and seen him for 6 years or something, and I looking up the front path, and he come up. And he thought I'd worked there. I said, lad, I'm just as fucked as you, lad.
And then, you're going to go back, like, for instance, from seeing them, and then, obviously, I found out that Steve boxed for Kirby, so at this time, I'm saying Conor Butler and Brian Collins. Yeah. Conor's a pro, and Brian's he's just turned sign pro now. So I said to him, got some fella in here, you know, Fergo said he boxed, said that he won all these national titles at Kirby, boxed for England and all that. And the both of them went, you shitting me? I went, no. And he went, he's our best mate. I went, what? And he was our best mate going up. He said, we haven't seen him for like 10 years. And the two of them, right, filled up. They went, no way. I went, lads, he's been here. He's come. I'm going to get him in tomorrow morning, or the next morning to meet on Friday, I think it was. And Conor was late, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he missed Conor, so we seen Brian, like, they've grew up together. Yeah. Been all over the country boxing together. And now, he's got a second chance. Not just at boxing, at life. Every day's a new day for him. Just life. As you said before, I always say back, he's got his kids back in his life. The most important thing in the world. You can't buy that. He's got them back. So it's perfect. And then things happen for a reason. I'm a believer in it. Things happen for a reason. He's only young. And he can go again. He can live his life again. At a proper life again.
Okay, I was just look at them like little Brian Collins and little now, said to him, what have you been fucking feeding them? You know what I mean? He's about the same size as me, but them two, Conor Butler and Brian, they were like we grew up together in KBABC, do you know what I mean, and grown together, but I went that way and they stayed on the right track. So that's where I sit there now and think, like, I have to start again now at the age of 25, and they're doing really well, do you know what I mean, really well.
But it's mad, the life's mad, but they've gone that way. He's gone that way, but he's been lucky enough to get them back. He's got them in. He's got them in. Got them now perfect. And he couldn't be in a better place or better in his mind and his body to meet them back in again. And it sounds mad. They need him and they need them. The mates.
That's off to yourself for realising that you did need the help, because not a lot of people do that, do they?
No.
So that's off to yourself for realising it and going and getting it.
Yeah. That's what, like, I've got loads of people like who are close, who were in denial. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, wake up. You know what I mean? And like what I do now is like, I try and pass this. Like, that's why I'm like, I've had a few articles put out on that by services. Because Tom Allison House doesn't get enough recognition at all. Not enough recognition for what it does and for how it saves lives. You know what I mean? Because if you would have met me 142 days ago, I couldn't look you in the eyes. I was a shell of a man. I had no confidence, no self-esteem or nothing. I was wrote off, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that place has absolutely saved me life. Because it's when you think about drinking, you think rehab's drinking drugs. It's far from drinking drugs gets you there. But then when you get there and you start getting your eyes open to the behaviours, your maladjusted behaviours, what you've built up over these years through addiction. I mean, I was a master manipulator. I still am, some days.
I'm glad you said that,
I seen how much food you all know at the start.
Some say.
You went into Tom Allison House, you left the support of the housing where you was using.
Yeah.
Paranoid, felt unsafe. You go to Tom Allison House, people are there showing you love, making you feel safe.
Yeah.
So you settle in, and then what happens with your days? You know, you're going through your days, and you know, you talked about behaviours. How did you learn about these behaviours?
Yeah, so the behaviours, it was like you do. So you get assignments, and your first assignment's a life story. So you go through a life story, you write your life story. I think mine was like 15 pages long. I mean, it could have been longer, but I just got the ticking in it. And then you have to present it in front of your group of peers. And because you've been off the drugs and that for a bit now, you're starting to get your emotions and your feeling back, because I was like desensitised. I hadn't cried for years, I hadn't cried at all for years, do you know what I mean? And it was like, because I'm starting to get my emotions back, not being clouded with all these drugs and that, you're talking and it just hits you, do you know what I mean? Like, wow, how much stuff you've been through. Yeah. And I remember I couldn't stop crying. And then after that, you go into an assignment 1, and your assignment 1 is like your pyramid, and they're your core beliefs, and this is where you really tick things in your box. Like, my core beliefs were like, so it gives you like a pyramid, and it's like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you put what you think your main instance was. And then at the side of that, your counsellor or your therapist goes through it. And one of my big ones was I am weak, because I got bullied terrible as a kid. I got like absolutely walked all over as a child. That's why I ended up initially going to boxing. My nanny took me to boxing because I used to get bullied bad. Just because I was being me, do you know what I mean, who I am today. Just a quiet, nice kid. And by ours, that weren't allowed, do you know what I mean? It's Kirby, you get your socks taken off you, don't you? That's
where I'm from as well. Yeah.
That's why he's got no socks on.
You got their socks, I've got theirs.
I come in with someone, you know.
In my pocket.
One each.
In my pocket then.
Yeah, but it's like, I had the thing of like, I am not loved, I'm not wanted, and I am weak. So I couldn't understand why I'd walk through town and someone would look at me funny and I'd have to front them.
Yeah.
Who were you looking at? Do you know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10 I'd always be using these all the time. Like it was just dead normal.
Yeah.
Just in walking through town on a normal day. And that's when like when I done my core beliefs, it's like they're the beliefs that trigger you, that drive your behaviours, do you know what I mean? Because touching a spot that's really hurt, it's like a void in your stomach, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because these are beliefs that you believe yourself, so all from a young age, me getting bullied, to even now 24, 25 and someone looking at me wrong, that's triggering that. And I couldn't deal with it, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's just the process, the counselling's the best. I used to love group therapy, do you know what I mean? Group therapy is absolutely amazing. And you sit there and you think, what's sitting there with a group of lads going to do? Like, because you're bottling it all up, do you know what I mean? You're bottling it all up, and the more you bottle it up, when something does to you, you just explode, do you know what I mean? You shake a bottle, it's going to explode. And the more you speak about it, the more it's easy. It's just easy. It's like, you can deal with it more, do you know what I mean? Because I've had half of these stuff away, and I've been wearing a mask for years. Just wearing a mask like everything was okay, when really it wasn't, do you know what I mean? And just getting honest, do you know what I mean? They say there's three words that, like, honest, open and willing, do you know what I mean? And if you're them three things, you get well. Yeah. But there's loads of stuff in that Tom Harrison house, like Derry's training, there's a big massive part one day a week, and then you do the hills of a Sunday. And then there's other things like the horses, like the therapy, equine therapist. Like, I was thinking, what's this got to do with anything? Like, going there and like you like,
Quite a long face.
Sorry, I couldn't help that. So, you're sitting there with an horse, and I couldn't get why I was doing it for the first 3 weeks.
Did you cuddle him?
Yeah, that's the end of it, yeah.
I've heard of that though, it's good they do with it, like abused kids as well, like animal therapy, it's really, really good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's powerful.
Like, you're talking about like feeling judged by others because of how you believe about yourself, but animals will never do that, do you know what I mean? Like, if you've got a dog or whatever, it's unconditional love, and I think it's a good, real, like, it's a good therapeutic intervention in a rehab. I mean, it could freak people out, but like, it works for them, do you know what I mean? Especially people in the army who've been through like all kinds of horrendous stuff, do you know what I mean?
It was just some of the horses up there, they're like rescue horses, aren't they?
All of them are.
They've been through their own.
Exactly. I mean, the horse that I picked, her name was Nia, and she has one eye. And the reason why I picked her was because I seen her as, she's got something wrong with her, and I've got something wrong with me. And it was like, that's how I connected. And the first 3 weeks, she fucking kicked me, she butted me, nearly knocked me out.
Should we sign her? Give me the details. Because I wouldn't do that to you. She must have some bottle, lad.
But yeah, it was like through the weeks I started building a bond with her. She wouldn't even let me in the stable with her, and then going on. It's like, I'm hanging off her neck, cuddling her, do you know what I mean? Like, meditating and all that with her. And then at the end of the course, Bernie, the main woman there who runs the place, she come up to me and offered me a scholarship there to become an equine therapist. And I was like, yeah, do you know what I mean? But she went, you don't have to worry about paying for it, we're going to pay it for you, because you've impressed us so much over the thing. So I jumped at a stage where, and that's what I'm doing. I'm halfway through doing that course now, do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
Really.
And the other thing, just listening to you, like, you talked about knocking people out in town to then go and, do you see what about the change in our addiction and the core beliefs and all that? Do you see that yourself, do you?
Yeah. He's also...
Do you understand what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
He's also a level 2 amateur boxing coach as well. He already had that, so he's got loads. He's done. It sounds mad. He's done it at a young age.
Yeah, exactly.
He's done everything.
And the gateway for it was Tom Harrison, wasn't it?
Tom Harrison has opened. So he's come back. He's gone to Tom Harrison, and it can open so many doors here. If it fixes it, fixes people, and it's unbelievable what it does. It helps people. Then go forward to the bridge, but it opens doors here, massive doors, and you can take the opportunities. You know, you can have a boss life.
Yeah, a boss life.
So, you know, when you come to the end of your treatment at Tom Harrison House, what do people do? What's the support? Where do you
transition?
Well, the transition is that you get given an option to move out to bridge housing. And now, I've been to supported housing before, like leaving jail and all that, but this is like no other supported housing that you'll ever see. I don't think there's one like it in the country, is there? Well, not where money gets put back in the way they do.
I think we're the best, like.
Yeah, because that most definitely though, because
No, I agree, like it's...
in the morning, like when you get up, Ian McCarthy does a lot, do you know what I mean? He does a lot. And he doesn't like getting on pitches and
It's like the hidden gem, and he's
like the grey man. He's like the grey man. He just does a lot, and that's how you know that he's doing it for the kindness of his heart and wants to help people. Because other people do it, don't they? And they're like, they want to get this little limelight, but he'll do it behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he like in the morning, like we go to Derry's every morning.
Every morning, 6:30, they're in.
6:30.
I've seen you in there. Yeah.
but what supported ours is that he comes and picks you up from your doorstep, drops you off on your doorstep when you're finished, and it's like there's loads going on because I volunteer with Ian, so I volunteer with him as the activities coordinator. I mean, we went up the lakes today to go and set these tents up just to see if we can set them up.
You were sliding down rocks, lad, you weren't setting.
I was like putting an umbrella.
You were sliding down rocks into the field. You weren't setting.
They were bad speedos, you know.
Oh,
Sure, lad, they were Under Armour.
That's the scouts in them. Shut up, lad, they were Under Armours.
Yeah, but it's like we're going adventure sailing there on Thursday, and like we're doing it's like caving, it's abseiling, rock climbing, little bit of art, yoga, meditation, and there's residents going from Bridge House and there's clients going from Tom Harrison House, and you're going there for 3 days, you know what I mean, and that shows that the money's getting put back in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The money's getting stuck back right in to give back.
Do you know when you move into a Bridge House?
Yeah.
Is it just all veterans that are in there?
No.
So it's a mixture of people?
It's a mixture of people, yeah.
So you're in a house with how many people?
It was three, but now one's moved out, so I'm there now with... Oh no, I'm there with 4 plus me. So 4.
4 plus you?
5, that's 5.
No.
How many fights? How many fights have you had?
3 plus me.
4.
3 plus
4.
you?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
So 4 an hour, and everyone's not a veteran?
Everyone's not a veteran, no.
Is there anyone else in the house who's a veteran?
He was Alan's uncle, yeah, but he's just left now. But he's just moved to a different house. But he come through Tom Harrison House with me.
Yeah.
But I think it's safe, do you know what I mean? Because people are going there to get well, do you know what I mean? It's like people want to be safe, and that's the main thing about it. I mean, Tony, like he keeps like they care, do you know what I mean? He don't just do it for Joe. That's the main thing. I mean, there's so many and this isn't like slagging any organisations off in Liverpool, but half of them are doing it for the coin, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not interested in your health or your well-being. They'll stick you in houses where you wouldn't even stick a dog, do you know what I mean? I mean, dogs shouldn't even be in bad conditions, do you know what I mean? But wouldn't put an animal, do you know what I mean?
Know what? I want to go, like, we're going to skip you a second, but where you've just said about Tony, I think he's sort of like a hidden gem as well. Tony is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because he does a lot. Obviously, he's got a boss connection with everyone in there, and so you can tell the viewers more about what Tony does for you and what. How much did he pay you for that?
How much did he pay me for that? Tony's just...
double dairy milk that fell out of his
But he's punching the bag in your ship.
He brought that in for me. It's teacher's pet now, you know.
Tony's just today. He's an amazing fella. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think I know you probably get, but I'm full of gratitude for everything that you do. Do you know what I mean? Just even in the morning, you're just full of life. He's full of life. Do you know what I mean? He just makes you laugh first thing in the morning. I mean, you get some people who can't get out of bed. He can get out of bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does he go to bed?
It's just fully sponsored that. Well, don't forget no lad.
So if you don't mind me, if you don't mind me chipping in then, Steve, so Tony, just for people listening, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I'm a support worker at Bridge. I'm in recovery myself. I'm 14 years at the end of this month.
Well done.
So I've been through rehab and supported housing and all that myself. Went there from prison, so done all the same stuff as they. So sort of know what it's like, but supported housing weren't as good as what it is today, you know what I mean? It was a bed and a front door key. So at Bridge, what we do is we help people come into recovery and we signpost them to other services. So if someone come to us for an assessment and there was a veteran, then we'd signpost them to DHH. But if they weren't, we'd signpost them to other places in town like the Brink, who do support groups for people. Some people can still be using and go to them groups, and then what the Brink will do, they will signpost them to Sharp, which is the day treatment centre, or there's other treatment centres which we can, send people to. But everyone's different, so you've got to treat the individual, in a certain way to what their needs are. So someone could come, they might not be able to read and write, so you get them into college, not to say school, and get them into college, or some people might come and they're a bit more advanced and they just might want to go into work, so you build a support plan with them around that, get the recovery intact, ask them what kind of recovery they want to do and give them some options. There's a few options that people can do for the recovery. And then just build a support plan with them, and things might just change along the way with that support plan, and we do things like star charts with, you see the progress in people, it starts off, it could be a low number when they come in of like no contact with family, say a 3, because family breakdown through drug and alcohol abuse and stuff like that. And by the time they move on, they might be on a 7 or they might be on a 10 with the connections with the family, or going to work, or people might be socially isolated, might not want to go out, because they've been used and stuff like that. So it's about integrating them into the community and stuff as well. So all stuff like that, and as I say, going to Derry's builds confidence in people, and doing this Ian, everything he does, builds confidence with them. There's cookery courses that we put on, there's peer mentoring courses through THH that they go on. And there's other activities that, there was a chess club, which is finished. But, the residents made that themselves, got together and done it, so that's fell through. But people go and see Ian if they want an activity, and if Ian can, he'll put it on, which is pretty good. The staff that I work with, I think are amazing. I've been there a couple of years, and some people have been there longer. But all in all, we're a good team, and I think it starts at the top for me. And comes down, and that's why we're such a good organisation. That's what I believe. Everything starts at the top, and then we've just all been introduced to Ellie, who's his role in helping us get all just doing the fundraising and all of the stuff.
Brilliant.
Which is good,
She's hidden off camera now, but
she didn't want to get on. Tony, just I know you'll know this anyway, but most people who's been where Stephen's been in a rehab or in a bubble, so to speak, rehab's quite a safe place, isn't it? You've got to make, you can walk out the door, but you're generally in a safe place. So the tricky time is most addicts, alcoholics will relapse in the first 3 months after rehab, because that structure's gone, do you know what I mean? And I suppose what impresses me with Bridge personally is that stuff you just talked about, and people like yourself working in there and others who are still, it's like a detox from rehab, if it does not make sense. It's a bit of a step down. Here's a bit of rope, do you know what I mean? But we'll rein you in if you need it. And that, I think that's what Bridge does really, really well. Personally,
I mean, it says it in the name, doesn't it? Bridge. It's like,
we do help integrate people back into the society, into the community. Putting putting activities on in the community, stuff like that, and just building confidence. But slowly, and just working with the individual. As I say, some people will take to that fast, and some people will.
And even
but early recovery, as you said, is a really...
It's hard, isn't it? Like,
very hard, yeah.
Just going to the shop, right? Simple, basic tasks of getting food, like cooking it, or shopping. It's just alien, isn't it? When you've been using a long time and you do all that type
that to be manageable again,
exactly. It's a difficult time, it's a difficult period. They're both great, I think, aren't they? But,
when you've lived a life so many years just using drugs and alcohol just to get through the day, when that's took away from you, and then all of a sudden you're standing there in town like that, what the fuck's going on here? Start sweating and all that, because you just don't know how to live, because you haven't lived drug free. So that can be quite hard.
Yes, and them feelings that you talked about come up again. I'm useless, I'm worthless, I might as well fucking use, do you know what I mean? Because I can't handle what's going on here. So that's the massive value in that, isn't it?
So, no Bridge and Thomas and House, as all, I mean, you don't have to answer this, but as all member of staff, are they all in recovery, or been in recovery, or should I say recovery?
I can't speak for everyone else, there's some of us that are.
Yeah,
and some
that's
of
what
us
I
that aren't. You know, the people play different roles.
Yeah.
Not all staff are in recovery,
No.
they don't know.
But the main ones, would you say, who communicate with the clients more daily? So for me, that's better. That, I mean,
it's like a learned experience.
It's like me, or a kid goes to, a kid wants to box in our boxing club because I've boxed. They're not going to send him to Wayne Rooney or Steven Gerrard to box if they're footballers, if you know what I mean. So you've been in the position, so it's easier. For instance, when Stephen first met the Hughes and Ian or whoever, all the team in Tom Harrison House, who've already been in recovery, they know what he's dealing with. They know your feelings.
Ground in between it.
I think that is huge. I think it's a big thing of it. But I think for me personally, I think you've got to be able to show people that you genuinely care. That's like a big thing. Do you know what I mean? You know, we saw all this the other day.
We had it was us three having a conversation about, like, I've learned a lot of stuff from people. It's important when you're in rehab to an addict. What do you fucking know? You've read it from a book, that type of thinking.
But as you move through your recovery,
if you look what you do with the people coming in there, it's about authenticity. Do you know what I mean? And showing like what you just said that you care about people. That's all. I say we, do you know what I mean? Because recovery is what you crave, but it has a bigger impact in the beginning, definitely.
For instance, Tom Harrison House and Bridge come to our gym to learn to box because I'm a boxing coach, but I couldn't tell them anything about addiction.
But you can tell them about living life without using. Do you see what I'm saying? So,
of course.
You know, I'm not dismissing what you're saying. It is that important about understanding of addiction. But we can also learn from people who don't run off and inject smack or snort Charlie or do whatever they do.
Of course,
When you fucking like shoelace breaks or something,
do you know
what I'm saying?
A totally different way of living. That connection to
like
other
mixing,
people.
Like Tom Harrison House and Bridge, they come to the gym. Well, mainly Tom Harrison House in it, really. They connect with the other members of my gym.
I think the great thing about the gym is
he's got his old friends back from his boxing days, but he's got new friends.
If you think about it, what Steve was saying before about going into Tom Harrison House and then coming over to Bridge, in that time he's been going to Derry's with some of his peers through that time at THH. Then he's moved over to Bridge, so he's allowed to go out early in the morning, so he's built that confidence like other residents in there. And then he's able to go to Derry's at 6:30 in the morning because he's not scared. He's got that.
And he's coming down. He's been coming down overnight, helping me with coach the kids and all that. So,
I think the thing about the gym makes you feel more like of a community, doesn't it? And then it can
you're in
help you day-to-day life, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
You've seen it yourself.
You get in late, don't you?
Yeah.
I see you all smiling when I walk in because your session's nearly over.
But it's the same, it's just connection, isn't it? Like human beings crave connection, whether you're in recovery or not. I want to be part of this footy team, boxing club, whatever it is. And I think rehabs do that really. They can annoy people in there as well. Like that, obviously, you're learning to deal with people and interactions and all that.
But are they annoying you because they need help?
they're annoying you probably because they remind you of yourself. You know, like they trigger stuff in yourself that you don't like. I mean, that's the therapeutic underpin, really. Like,
I was going to bring that up, actually. I was going to say to Tony then,
100%.
how did you come full circle and then go back into it to help people? Because I think that's amazing, to be honest with you. So you've come from A to B and then all the way back round to A, but you're helping someone instead of being on the other end of it.
I think it's like, I don't know really how to explain this, but I think it's like with any job that you go in, you've got people who are like just you're just naturally just sort of a person that's suited to that job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think like I'm suited to sort of like a people person. I like to care for people. I like to help people.
Yeah.
I like to do that. You know, like Derry does the same, but he does it through his boxing. He does the same, but through his job.
Yeah.
You know, he does the same by just taking the room. He walks in, do you know what I mean? So I think you've got to be just like genuinely care.
I think the lads, the lads in Tom Harrison and Bridge, I'll use Bridge mainly more, they look up to Tony because they think, hold on a minute, he's been here. I know he's run, you're a staff, you're like, and you boss with everyone. So if I was in there, I'd go, I want to be where he is. He's fucking. He's here. I want to be there, and it sounds mad. He's got something. He could light any room up. He walks in. People. When if he's on the gym in the morning, he'll go, where's Steve? Because the noise on the bag. He's like the dog's on. But there's something about him. If he's not there, you go, where's the big fella?
Yeah.
And like, if he weren't in work, there'd be where's Tony?
Yeah.
Everyone who goes through the programme can look at Tony and go, hold on a minute, he's been in that position. Yeah. That's what I was saying about, like, it's like a boxing coach. Yeah. No doubt, You for me, I'd send my kid to a footballer if you want to be a footballer.
Yeah. That's the best thing about it, like with Tom Harrison House there, it's like when you're sitting there and like your counsellor's in front of you and like they relate to what you're saying.
Because they've done it.
They've done it.
Yeah.
They can relate. It's not someone who's gone through uni and got a degree. I mean, some of them have got a degree, but they've got the past. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
this fella's got a degree. That's a little smile.
I was really like, some of us do that.
This fella's from Alan.
See you, man. That accent this morning to come here tonight.
That's Walton, not Walton.
So Tutty, then, how did you get into tri recovery? But even prior to that, tell us about.
Can I just say something? He's the granddad. I said before, he's the granddad of the team, but he's also, if he doesn't win it, something's up. He's already done so many Ironmans and so many triathlons, but he went to this race. What race did your wife beat in?
just to clear something. What was that? Tony could be a Tony. Tony was
there. He went to a marathon because I know his wife's going to watch it. He went to a marathon with his wife. She beat him.
I let her win. It was the first marathon.
She never beat him.
She annihilated
40 minutes.
I was trying to clarify something before I explain where it was.
She got home.
She can't swim either, and someone else who's doing our triathlons is struggling.
She got home and had a tea on, and you hadn't even finished
the
bit.
later on. I don't know that one, so she wasn't there yet, but
no, she did. She smashed me on it, to be honest with you. But yeah.
That was the easiest 50 quid I've ever earned.
Come back and run the last half of you or something.
She was like, we were running we got engaged in Paris, right? So it was a nice place. She trains as well. She's a good runner.
You went chasing her, was you?
Yeah, I couldn't keep up. But you know, like, the first, you've done marathons, you know, the first one you're really excited, so I'm fucking bollocks like you're halfway thinking, and she's chatting and all that. I was like, fucking hell, this isn't going to end well.
Party's going to go out.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, Carla, just get off, girl, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking don't want to speak to you, like, just, I'll see you at the end. And I get to the feed station at about 20 miles and she's waiting for me, and I was like, fucking hell. Which is a nice thing to do, but I was like, fuck off, love. Do you know what I mean?
Was you waiting for her?
No. No, of course it was on that.
You don't win it.
That was an instinctive no.
Just to switch it from me and Carla, Tony was with his mate as well, so we've done that together. 2015 or 16.
I beat
Days.
39.
Yeah.
29 minutes, 21 seconds.
So come on, so
I suppose getting involved in this was down to Derry. For me, really, Ian, who's been spoke about, really, is the brains behind it all. He wanted to do a triathlon, I'm led to believe, and he seen ballet. That's the one we're doing, which is in September. And because of the gym connection, and Derry was in a footy team that I carried the sponges for on a Sunday.
You never lost.
I have a good record as the manager, Colin. He's the manager.
Jazz's
dad, yeah. He rang me and said we're doing, and I was like, yeah, fucking great. Like I've been through addiction. I stopped using heroin and crack in 2002. And drinking after prison, hospital, all that stuff Stephen's just talked about, you know what I mean? And I was like, I think young lads luckily seen, I'm going to use I don't like this word, but smackheads like me, and it put them off a little bit, but the coke seems to have really took over that type of lifestyle, do you know what I mean, for them. So you can thank me for that, really, anyway.
Yeah, but you know when people say that, like, the people who, like, they look at people like that, I was just a raving punter anyway on that, so it might as well just be
they're no different.
They're no different. Every drug
drinks no. Is it wet,
weed,
dry?
People think just like all the kids nowadays they glorify weed.
Exactly.
But weed is just it's a
zombie.
It
starts.
In the end.
I mean, it was a long time ago, so like, you know, when I've been through all that stuff, Tony's talked about like being in dry houses and rehabs and prisons and whatever, and I got like I've done trial. He rang me about the triathlon group. I've been doing triathlon since 2006. And what he talked about, it's ideal. I know they talked about boxing a lot, but it gives structure. Do you understand what I mean? It gives you mind structure. It gives you the purpose to get up in the morning. You're a part of a group. I've joined a triathlon club years ago. That was difficult. Like, and it's probably what you talked about. Is triathlon can be quite elitist. I think it costs money and all that. So I mean, the people I've met have been really, really inspirational. But you're going in as a junkie, just like and all that beliefs you talked about. It just gets loud, you know, when you're in around other people. But I just thought, fuck it, no, I'm gonna do this, you know, like the stuff, the drive you've been talking about. Anyway, I've done Salford in 2006, the first one. And then I've done quite a lot. I've done 15 to date and 2 Ironman events as well.
So if he doesn't win this,
I'm not going to win. Like, I'm not
I've just been out of our group.
Yeah, maybe. I can't be running. No, he's running. No, like, I can't be running. I'm not like, I'm
his
not.
bike's worth 15 grand, lad.
You know where I live? I'm not like, do you know what? I get competitive in my mind, but I'm not at that level. It's more about
pedals loose.
Yeah, we'll go into that one later.
He still hasn't got over the first bike ride we went on.
Oh, that one!
I was like, service, you better service your bikes and your pedals.
We'll talk about that later on, come on, can you?
But yeah, it's been massive part of, amongst other stuff, what I do to stay clean and off drink and all that, but like sport, whether it's boxing, triathlon. So for me, I was just like, I said this, I don't know if it was you the other day, but I've done some pretty big deal events, like in Germany, in Mallorca. This is the best thing I've ever been involved in because it, like we talk about in recovery, you give what you keep what you have by giving it away. That's kind of a saying that's bantered around what we do. So you get clean, you tell other people, like what you talked about. For me, talking about triathlon and training, I'm doing it like through triathlon as well. So like it's just, and having him is just like amazing with us. Do you know what I mean? Like it really is like transferring like the stuff you've achieved in life and then coming into this is amazing. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose the back of, you know, raising the money is the big deal for me as well, really, because there's loads of people like Stephen in the world who need help. Do you know what I mean? If we can get that message out there, then it helps people. Not everyone's going to do Ironman triathlon, but even if you just get out and go for a walk or walk the dog or like go for a little run or
even if they get in touch with someone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know.
We need to raise awareness.
It's funny that you say about giving it away and stuff like that, because I remember being in a meeting I must have been fucking touching 20 stone at the time. I remember Tutty walking in. I think she ran from wherever. Little village.
It was in town.
And it was in town. You ran to town. And I remember you saying you hadn't training for a marathon or something. I was thinking, oh, I'd love to be able to do that one day. That always stuck in my mind, you know what I mean?
But you how many views on now? Not because of me running that mean, I'm not saying
How
that.
long was that time? How many years ago?
It was the first one I did was 2008. It was New York, I'd done New York.
That's 14 years ago. It took me a long while to get into them. But all the people have had influence on me, like my mate Dave and my other mate Gary. But it was when I seen Tutty and I thought, fucking hell, you know what I mean? You know, if he can do it, why can't I?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying about like in work, for instance.
Not saying things that he...
It's just a cycle. It's like,
Yeah.
why can't he be in the position he's in?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's the same in the boxing gym now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Surely, like Jazz
Yeah.
is training for a world title
All the
fight.
kids want to
The
be
kids
him.
look
Yeah.
up
They
to
want
it.
to be
It's the
him.
same
Of
with
course,
Jazz,
yeah.
isn't it?
That makes a point because when Jazza was growing up, he had the Derry Mathews
Exactly,
posted on his wall.
exactly.
So it's like that, isn't it?
I keep saying it.
Like,
He did, by the way.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
I was all over Jazz as well. I always said to him, don't ask me what he was doing about the poster.
he didn't have speed over there.
Derry and the
I'm
speed
telling you,
zones.
Hey, Colin got on them.
He has a world title over his head.
She knew I had them.
Like people inspire you, do you know,
course,
like
yeah.
whether you choose to see that or not, and there's loads of stuff you talked about in your little speech then about like things happen for a reason at the right time, like the boxing didn't happen then, but it could happen now, and that's up to us to do that. And I just don't think whether recovering or not, like you get opportunities presented that you when they're meant to be fucking presented, like that,
I mean,
good and bad as well, like
yeah,
bad
I
things
agree,
happen
yeah.
at the same time, do you know what I mean?
It's about having the balls to actually take it upon
it is,
yourself
yeah.
and do something about it, though, isn't it?
But
Yeah.
the way you're saying there about bad things happen, like for the past 11 years, I always used to say, why does nothing ever go for me?
Yeah.
Because I weren't doing the right things.
Yeah.
I was being a little arsehole. I was being a bully. I was doing bad things, do you know what I mean? And then the minute I start doing the right things, I start behaving correctly.
Yeah.
I start being like a law-abiding citizen, may I say, you know what I mean? But like it's, I mean, my social medias blow up, so like loads of people try and kick into me and go, well, I'm struggling this, because everyone looks at me and think, if he's done what he's done, because everyone knows me from them party scenes, you know what I mean? And I was an animal, you know what I mean? Everyone would go home and I'd be gone for 4 days.
If he'd have turned up at a party at the fucking leg there. Imagine on Charlie, he'd be like, fucking
And that's it.
And Derry's belt.
I was underarms.
You're getting chins or you're getting robbed. You're getting rolled.
No, it's good though, it is, it's good. And I think he is like the reason that drives me in the morning in terms of what we're doing together collectively with this try for recovery, because it's not just addiction, it's people who serve for the country and hit barriers, you know, like mental health, addiction, like they've been trained for our country. And the fact I'm
Being left.
Well, yeah,
Being left.
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
have been
who-
left,
yeah.
Being left.
Train killers,
definitely, most
right?
definitely.
And then they get exited, like not. I don't know the ins and outs of it, so I probably can't talk too much about what happens at the end. But if someone's gone through adverse childhood experience more in the army for the country, and then hit drugs, is it any wonder? Do you know what I mean? So it does need putting out there about servicemen who hit barriers and all that type of stuff.
There needs to be a pathway out of it, doesn't it?
And isn't Tom Harrison the only one?
It's the only one in the
It's
country.
the only one in the country, you know.
That's absolutely shocking, by the way.
It's the only one in the country.
But you know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's because the government don't want to open it, because the floodlights are just flooding the truth to come out.
Yeah.
Because I've got plenty of mates who are in the army now who are struggling with addiction. So there's lads there who were in the army, and I remember it like you or 2 times a week at least you go away to camp. I used to be up in Blackpool, and you go down there and you'd be bevying on the Tuesday, you'd be sniffing, and be up at like not even go to sleep, but going have to do like battle PT, like an 8-mile run or an 8-mile tap or crawling around. And then you get back and you carry on, and everyone will be going drinking.
So you get drug tested?
Yeah, but I was
water, lad.
No, I was a master manipulator. Do you know what I mean? I could get my way out of things all the time.
You made person that under your arm?
Under me ball.
Yeah.
I remember one time I had to
It's warm, Daddy.
yeah, because they get a body temperature on it. But there's loads of lads there now who see this Tom Harrison house. I know for a fact like the army pay a lot to send to train soldiers and have them, and then when they fail a drug test, I'm doing it again. When they fail a drug test, they just kick them out. So basically, they've lost all that money. They've lost all that money to train the soldier, to keep him, and then he gets fed, and then they throw him out. So then he's out on the streets with nothing. But really, what they should do, they should acknowledge that addiction's happening with saving personnel.
Yeah.
That people are around the bend who are saving, and the only reason people are scared to ask for help in the army because they're going to lose the job.
Yeah.
The only thing, some of them were like me, during the 16 years of age, so they know nothing else. So they're like 25, 26, they've been in the army maybe 12 years, but they're struggling, they're drinking every day, they're using every day, and they've got nowhere to turn.
No support network.
No, because if they ask for help, they're going to lose the job.
Yeah.
So, and that job's the only thing that's kept him since he was 16. So they're just stuck. Do you know what I mean? It's horrible.
But the other implication is like addiction at post-army and then ending up in jail, and it costs even more to the state.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Instead of investing early on for people, I mean, if you were getting, I mean, I've been to prison and stuff, like when I stopped using drugs, we're not costing the state more in the prison, so if you invest early on, it stops the long-term cost anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, massively.
And I suppose it's difficult really, I suppose, when you were talking about it, I get that they're not saying, the British Army don't want to acknowledge, because it's an elite whatever, I suppose for them it's like, we don't acknowledge, I don't know, I'm just summarising, like, whether they want to acknowledge that it is going on or they just want to turn a blind eye to it, who knows what it is, but I suppose you can't, people are going to hit that, if they've been mad kids, adverse experiences kids, and then get in the army young lads, then it's going to spill somewhere, isn't it, do you know what I mean? So it does need to be recognised, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, because I joined the army to get away from the madness and chaos from Kirby, you know what I mean, for what was going on in my life. And then I joined the army, went through training, and then when I got to my unit, it was like, everyone's just drinking and using. I was like, oh, I just tried to get away from all that now and right back into it.
Yeah, it must be.
It's glorified. It was the way, it was terrible, do you know what I mean? And it's sad. It really is sad.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
And you've got nowhere to turn as well.
No, and not everyone's going to hit the bottoms you hit, but there will be some people who do, you know what I mean? Or just maybe have gone out and took something at the weekend and then get a test and then be lashed because they made one silly mistake, you know what I mean? Or whatever. It's a bit unfair, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the lads who are taking the life now, left, right and centre, it's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? I went up last weekend to visit my mate up in Blackpool, Corcoran. He committed suicide, but he was still serving, but he was using. Yeah. And this one night he's been using, and he's ended up eating loads of Charlie. And I don't know what happened, but he died anyway. He said he killed himself. But that's because he had nowhere to turn. Do you know what I mean? He had no one to ask for help, because they would have just...
They put him out.
Yeah, they put him out.
Your change, and you'd be the same, is the point of change is when you ask for help, like. That's when it goes, and when you admit to yourself you'll ask for help, and then and without that it just
gets worse. Yeah.
Hopefully people hearing your story, they know where to turn, you know, Tom Harrison House is there, they know there's a support mechanism there, and they can listen to your story, it might give them a little bit of motivation to reach out themselves and ask for a bit of help.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
So yeah, what you're doing is fantastic.
But I'll just say, with the type, what we're running this for, it's like, so, we're raising the money, it's £10,000, and it's also, so when I went to treatment, I'm from Liverpool, so the Liverpool Council, the Liverpool whatever, I get funding for it. So they pay £10,000 for me to put me through that 12-week rehabilitation with Tom Harrison House.
Yeah.
But now we're raising this money is because people somewhere else, us like out of Liverpool, who've saved, they might be getting on the phone and they might be struggling. They might be at death's door, don't want to live no more. But they have to wait for organisations to get funding. So what we're getting this money for together is to be in a pot. So when someone does phone out away and go, I'm sick of this, I want to die, do you know what I mean, whatever, that
you can get them in straight away.
You go, yeah, we've got this money to get them going while we wait for the other bits of funding, because funding could take months and months and months. Yeah. But with that pot there, that pot could, it's not potentially, it is going to save someone's life. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's not like potential, because it saved my life, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's how important this money is. And that's the message for Cyber Recovery. We're not just doing it for a laugh, we're doing it because that will save somebody's life somewhere down the line.
Yeah. To raise the awareness.
Raise awareness. Yeah. Raise the money to help people.
Yeah.
Raise the money to help people and raise awareness and let people know that Tom Harrison House is there, Bridge is there. We're all here for, you know what I mean, if ever they need to speak to.
And if anyone's listening, they do want to, donate and that, we'll have the link there on the bottom on the YouTube channel, on Spotify, all of the things that you can listen to our podcast on. We'll have the link down there, so get on, show your support to the lads, follow the page on Instagram as well, the Try for Recovery page, and get donating, because you could potentially be helping save someone's life, you know what I mean?
Tickets for the night, for the charity night, and it's on the
13th of August.
13th of August.
So they're on Eventbrite, and the link's on the bio to the page if people want to be live.
Could you put the link on your? Could we put the link on your?
Throw the link on our Instagram. We'll also throw it on the bottom on the YouTube as well. So I say anyone wants to go to the event, you're welcome to go on there.
Live music, auctions, raffles, free drink.
And drink.
Juice. If you're in recovery, it's an orange juice. And these we've got merchandise as well, like 20 quid t-shirts and these wonderful hoodies for 20
Follow our social media as well. Ellie, who's doing a great job. She's off the camera. She's doing a great job running all the social media. Where we're going to be having raffles. We've got some good boxing memorabilia, football memorabilia, and other events like spa days and all that. For raffles and auctions, so it's going to be a good.
When's the triathlon?
5th of September in Bala, in North Wales.
And before you're going to ask, I can't swim.
So next we're going to get on to Derry then, wasn't we? I think we've got a few things for Derry, so it's very interesting for me. So I was in Ibiza with Derry a number of years ago, and we were sitting around by the pool having a bevy, and Derry wouldn't come nowhere near the pool. And honest, and this is no word of a lie, and this is like, you're looking at him, one title's boxing, you think fearless. And I was like, come over here. And he was like, I can't go by the pool. And I was like, you're messing, aren't you? Come by the pool, why? And he's like, I can't swim. But he's a wind-up, innit? So I was having none of it. I was thinking, no way. And then I said to one of the lads who knows him well later, I said, did he really not swim? He's like, nah, he's scared of the water, So then when I was in the gym and he was saying, I'm doing this triathlon, I was like, you do know the swimming and that, And he was like, no, I'm going up, getting over my fear. I'm going to learn how to swim, you know what I mean? So credit to you getting involved with the lads there, you know what I mean, overcoming your fear.
That's why one of the main things it's done is they're in recovery, and they're going through recovery. They're getting through their fears. I want to get through mine. So this is like a little goal for me. It's a goal for them, obviously what they're doing. And I just thought, I've got to have a go. And I've never shit myself so much in all my life in that Albert Dock. It was freezing for one. And it's like, when I was a kid, I'm from town, everyone used to just go down there, and I just hold the towels, or mind the bikes. I just mind the bikes, and I would not even attempt it. I just said, get over, lad, you'll be alright. There's not a chance in this world. And then it's just been on me for years. I've been all over the world with the England boxing team, and my boxing trainers have all done swimming lessons, and I've had to pound the road because I can't swim. The England boxing team done it. Danny Vaughan used to use the pool for his training. Loads of conditioning coaches use it, and lads holidays with the missus over the years, and just like, I can't go in the water. Like, won't go in the sea, won't do nothing. Boat parties, leave me out of them, mate. Leave me out of them. I'll stay in the hotel, I'll be sound. Or I'd say, well, I don't feel well, I can't go on that boat trip and all that. So now it's something massive for me, and I'm doing, I couldn't ask for a better bunch of lads to do it with.
And he's having private swimming lessons.
So I'm just like, no, I'm going to give them all the credit, because if it's not going well, they're going to pull me out. They're going to say,
Just, you can't swim a little bit.
they're going to say,
Yeah, I've seen the videos now.
I'm not can swim, obviously, but he can. It's there. You just need to do it a bit more. And the other thing, you need to go outside. Like, it's different in the pool. I'm not trying to maybe I'm trying to psychologically scare you or beat you. Like, outside swimming is a bit different. So, like, if you're gonna do a triathlon and you're panicking about swimming, you just go to the back of the pack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're on your own.
no, because I want to win.
No, but like the other thing,
I was going to pull you back.
you're gonna need to catch me first. Like. You've got a boxer mentality, but you can't win you can't fight water, like, so slowing down and relaxing is the thing to do. You do it, I've seen in your videos. Relaxing, like when you panic, you do this and you just get out of breath. We had the tsunami and all that when he was in there.
Oh, but
No, you've done alright to be.
how long's the swim? A mile and a half, is it?
65 lengths of a pool, a mile.
A mile.
1500.
It's over a mile.
65 minutes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
65
you're in a
lengths?
wetsuit, so you're more buoyant in it anyway.
What does that mean?
I mean, you
Don't give me no colour. Yeah, but it's not salt water.
No, I think it's a fresh water lake. Yeah,
It's a lake. It's not salt water.
It's different swim than the dock as well, Derry.
Yeah, the dock's not a fucking pleasant swim. There's just fish in there.
The dock is, it's lovely, the
Dude,
dock,
he
lad.
goes in his fucking Under Armour build.
Hey,
That bonnet uniform you're talking about.
deal.
Yeah.
So,
Tony the eel.
the swim's the first part of it. I mean, I've been struggling with a bad calf as well. So the swim's, and then it's the bike after the swim.
Yeah.
The bike's easy, innit? I'm off the council estate, mate. We were born on bikes.
I've often used to rock bikes.
We were born on, we had, I'll wheelie that. So the bike's going to be the easy part, and the running's going to be easy for me. It's just the swim part. After I feel I'll be up the pool, I need at the end of the race, because
It's a lake.
it's not a lake, you know what I'm saying? But a couple of the lads are coming up to take the pedals off as well. I meant yours, and yours.
You're letting tyres down and
Well,
everything.
whatever you lose in the swim, is sure if you'll catch up on the bike of the run.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
Because there's loads. Listen, Luke, Rimmer, Lee,
Rimmer can swim.
Luke, Lee,
Yeah.
I don't.
Ian's fit now. Ian's very fit now.
Yeah, it's just the swim can wipe you out. Like if you don't get it, you're supposed to get out and feel like you've not done a lot.
I know as well when like my body's gonna peak, or when I've done camp, so I've officially started training today.
We did put a picture in our WhatsApp group when everyone's like, "Is he been fucking using?"
I've
drugs?"
officially.
He said, "I'm back."
I know. Just got this
So I've officially started. I'm on it every day now, because these are overdoing it. These are all, well, not Tutty, because Tutty's, he's, you know, want to see his setup he's got in the house now. Just want to see it, but like I said, I think.
No,
maybe you're gonna watch this, but you're not doing it.
He doesn't listen either.
He's like,
He is a machine.
he's a winner. He's,
Winner mentality is
Yeah,
Football.
You've got that.
You could play a friendly with him, and he.
Take it
There's no friendlies.
No.
We went out with him. This fella took him out right in. When was the match? Friday night, your match?
Yeah.
The semi-final was one. Anyway, we went out on Friday morning, and like, it's a big thing in my head to get to 100 kilometres or 100 miles. They're just little
Kilometres or miles, you know?
kilometres. So it's like 60. It's still a decent ride in Derry, and it was really. Maybe I'm not mentioning he got off his bike on the hill, but we'll just say that. But he'd done that, right, and then played 90 minutes in the night.
My legs are a bit heavy, you know.
But then you put a text in the group saying we wouldn't have won it without you. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with this fella?
Before the game, went,
He's unbelievable, like.
Yeah.
And he was
unbelievable. And he can swim as well. I fancy him.
Yeah,
He starts off the cheek to tell me to watch you don't do too much, lad.
Because he doesn't want you to win. Mind games, baby. We're on you.
That's what that is.
Mentality, and he's strong. But then you've got Luke as well, who's
Yeah, he's the same as well. Like.
Luke's an ex-Everton footballer.
Yeah.
Is he?
and he's
Everton in the community.
Let's not get on the football, like.
Oh.
We love you, Raf.
By the way,
yeah.
as well, he's the dark horse. He's done
Yeah,
the ultra.
no.
He's done the ultra run, 50 miles.
Yeah.
So it was a few years ago, Lola. That's amazing to me. So, but I can keep going. I know when to the. My speed might not be the fastest, but I'll get through this.
Before we're going to log off, I know we've got to go in a minute. So can we just tell the lads about our first bike ride we've done? Do you want me to tell them?
You go on.
Right, so all week in the group chat, we're going to meet the McDonald's on the Dock Road. So I've met Tony. Me and Tony have got big houses on. We look like we're going to go
houses.
We're going to look like two Ken robbers. I wouldn't put the helmet on an out of state, it was down my top. He was this way, you're not putting this on here, mate. I'm putting this on, coming through Langley, I can't sell it. So next minute, we've met up, we've gone down the Dock Road. We just seen like a traffic cone driving towards us. Bright yellow, he had the hat, the jacket. They're like that.
Hey, safety first.
Listen,
Like the sailor on concrete.
hold on. These things will go over your shoes to stop the wind getting your ankles, windbreakers. They were bright yellow. We got to the Costco. It's pedals now.
It's a pedal over one pedal. We were coming down the Dock Road and he's like, you know, when you dress like that, you should be going a bit quicker.
All week in the chat he's going.
Why your left leg is smaller than your right?
Make sure you've got this. Make sure
you serviced your bike.
Make sure your bike's being serviced. Do not go nowhere unless your bike's being serviced. Anything else that's off road.
Should have seen what if Plod was to come past me and him just said they've just cut for them bikes. Right, we had big house on. So he's on and he has all the gear.
No idea.
He drove all the way home with one pedal.
It took me about a fucking hour to get on my bike because I knew what I was going into, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
when you're cycling in triathlon, you just turn up like it's normal, but then I knew where I was going. Like, I like training with these lads because we can have that, like...
Good camaraderie.
Yeah.
And then the second time he's on the bike ride...
Did I dust you?
No.
When you went up for me, I was in Southport.
No. Exactly the same spot.
Oh, Rayman?
Right.
No, blame me.
Right. So we've met at the McDonald's.
He's on fucking death, didn't he?
Got along the road. He bumps wheels with Rimmer. Rimmer goes off, snaps his ankle back. Cause of him.
I was just getting him used to race days or something.
You can't beat and take him out.
No, exactly.
a brand new bike, snapped his ankle back.
Oh, I know. I'm surprised he never battered me actually, to be honest, but...
Nah, that's brilliant, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I just think before we wrap it all up, I think it'd be good, like, if for people listening, everything that you've been through, if you should give one bit of advice for someone listening, you think that'd be really good. So, do you want to start, Steve? Anyone listening, just, got any advice for them?
Any of the advice I give to you is to swallow your pride and your ego, because there's more to life than what you're living, do you know what I mean? Stop existing and start living.
Brilliant.
And ask for help.
Just robbed me fucking sense. No, I just think it starts in teenage years for me, all this, you know what I mean? And it's about trying to find your own identity, not other people's identity. So be yourself, not what you think other people want you to be. It's big in Liverpool, that, like, it is, like, for kids, not wanting to fit, not wanting to be like that, but stepping over that line just to fit in. So just try and be yourself when you're a teenager.
Yeah, that's good advice. I'd just say, just always ask for help. I think these two have just covered it. But I think the biggest thing is to, like, just reach out and just let people know, I'm ready to be help, and always listen to people with experience.
Brilliant. But yeah, as I said before, we're going to have links on the bottom anyway, so if you can get on, we're trying to raise money for a really good cause. You could potentially save someone's life, so get on, donate, help out.
No, I just want to say I've really enjoyed this episode. I think it's by far the best one we've done. absolutely brilliant. Oh,
Thanks,
sorry,
thanks,
Derry. You were on. No, listen, this is for a great cause, as you all know. You've all got fantastic stories, and he's an absolute inspiration, not just to us who you spoke to, but to everybody else. So, hats off to yourselves.
And the people that are listening at home, let's smash the 10 grand, let's get more than 10 grand.
Yeah.
As Steve just said before, it's £10,000 to save one life.
Yeah.
No, there's more than one life needs saving.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
More than one life.
And a big hats off to Derry as well, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
He's an absolute
I'm
inspiration as well.
I'm after the podcast.
Do you know one thing about Terry though, yeah? Like, everything he's achieved and everything, he doesn't act differently around people. He doesn't think he's better than anyone. And that's what I really love about him. He's just one of us.
Yeah.
Even everything what he's achieved, there's people out there who look above you, who try and, but he's just, he's like one of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's one of the lads, and that's the best thing about him. And everything else he does, but that's like the main one, because I've been around people like, there's a gym in Manchester, and like Equine's gym, and it's like, you feel like you're getting looked down on that, do you know what I mean? Like,
Me mother kill me if it changed.
Can I just add to that? Like, I've not known you, I've known who you were, but I've only known you as a mate for a little period. But the stuff he does in the community, regardless of this, is unreal. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I really like socialist beliefs, but it's that all over. Do you know what I mean? Like community and giving back to your community and helping underprivileged kids or mental health or whatever it is.
Maverick Stars, who I basically teamed up with, that's how I met CHH, that's how I met. So Maverick, you know, they've Jordan, first met them first lockdown. What Charlotte and Tony have done for me is you know, second to none. You couldn't buy what they've done for me really. They team me up with great people, Tom Harrison House, and working with other veterans. Steve seen me with the LFC veterans and all that. That's through Maverick Stars. But they've like made me something new. Yeah. To how to go about helping the community, helping people. I've got, you know, just don't look after. I don't just have a recovery class for people in THH. I run a disability centre. I'm not going to have a class on a Monday. So I'm trying to put something good back into my community, back into the sport I love. And I'd say it's not about me. I've been there, I've done it. I'll just like to help others. I'm a helper.
It's exactly the same as addiction now, isn't it? Like,
I'm addicted.
See what I'm saying? I don't mean addiction, I mean like giving you experience to others to keep it alive, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's great, like, it's great having you in this as well.
Thank you.
Well, no, thanks a lot for coming on the podcast, sharing your story and being honest about it. And, you know, hopefully we can reach a lot of people out there, give them a bit of support, people can get on as well, and, you know, donate. And really good luck to you as well.
Thanks
for all your course. Fantastic, appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, lads.